Hi, I'm Will Roberts and I'm running for Volusia County Tax Collector. In this week's Tax Tip Tuesday, I'd like to explain why I believe the tax collector's race is the most important race Volusia County voters will have on the ballot on August 18th. The newly elected tax collector is going to be responsible for setting up a strong new foundation for this office that will be in place for years to come. The tax collector is going to take on new services that have not been performed by the county, like driver's licenses, birth certificates, and concealed weapons permits. This race will be decided by all voters in the primary on August 18th. It will not be on the ballot in November. Let me explain these ideas in more detail. First, building a strong foundation. When voters elect a tax collector on August 18th, that person will be responsible for taking the tax collector operations, which are currently a part of Volusia County government, and making them independent. If I'm elected tax collector, I will certainly collaborate with the county, but I won't be required to report to the county manager or a county council to get budget approval, hire additional staff, or buy new technology. This will increase efficiency. It's almost as if we are starting over from scratch. All our current contracts with vendors will need to be renegotiated and signed by the tax collector instead of the county. The tax collector will have to find locations for the staff to work and take on HR and IT functions, and much, much more. As tax collector, I plan to contract with the county for many of these services to start, so we can have a smooth, efficient, and effective transition. Second, new services. An elected tax collector is responsible for property taxes, vehicle tag and title services, driver's licenses, birth certificates, and concealed weapons permits. Volusia County currently does the property taxes and tag and title services, but driver's licenses, birth certificates, and concealed weapons permits will be new services that will be the responsibility of the tax collector. We need a tax collector with the experience to take on all these new services and to lead the teams. I'm a Florida certified assistant tax collector. That means I am certified by the Florida Department of Revenue Property Tax Oversight Division. I understand the regulations and statutes for all services provided by an elected tax collector. The tax collector is a professional position that requires someone with the certification, experience, and education to make it a success. Let's take a look at the other 4 constitutional officers in Volusia County who were reelected this month without opposition. First, Sheriff Mike Chitwood. He certainly came into the position qualified to be the county's chief law enforcement officer with decades of law enforcement experience. He was elected in 2016. Lisa Lewis is the supervisor of elections. Lisa worked in the elections office for 13 years before being elected to supervisor in 2016. Laura Roth is the clerk of the circuit court. Laura has a law degree and worked in the clerk's office for 12 years before being elected clerk in 2016. Larry Bartlett is the property appraiser. Larry practiced real estate law for 33 years. He was the attorney for the Value Adjustment Board for Volusia County for 7 years. The Value Adjustment Board hears disputes about property values, assessments, and more. He was elected in 2016. Clearly, all these individuals are professionals in their field, not career politicians. The tax collector should be a professional as well. I have worked in the Volusia tax office for 7 years. I lead the property tax team that collects $680 million annually. I am a Florida Certified Assistant Tax Collector. I have a master's degree in public administration. I am qualified to take on the position of tax collector. The third reason the tax collector is an important race in the primary on August 18th, voters who cast ballots in the primary will decide who will be our first elected tax collector in 50 years. Because there are only 2 Republican candidates, this race is going to be on every ballot in the county for the primary on August 18th. There will be no opportunity to vote for tax collector in the November general election. That's it. Those are my 3 reasons the Volusia County Tax Collector's race is the most important race on the primary ballot. It's so important that we elect a candidate with the certification, experience, and education to be our first elected tax collector in 50 years. We need to start with a strong foundation. I'm that candidate. I'm Will Roberts, and I'm running for Volusia County Tax Collector. I would appreciate your vote on August 18th, and I'm serving to make a difference.